That's about it in this matchup, to be honest with you. Maybe even fighting a little bit with Galvantia to fight with those one prize attackers, try and stay in the loop, because Gardevoir is going to be able to abuse stuff like Scream Tail and Monkey Dories to try and just manipulate damage as easily as possible and make this a little smoother game. The best way for Joltik here is going to have to be to get multiple hands going as fast as possible. We'll see what he grabs here off the Miraidon. Looks like he's opting for a Pikachu. Maybe he's looking to one-shot the Gardevoir. Maybe he plays Vitality Band. I could see that working out. It looks like I did see that in the list. I could see Understanding wanting to go for the Vitality Band. Boss on the Gardevoir, maybe. I'd probably personally go double hands, but I understand the vision. We'll see what he's got here. I'm not sure what the support is for turn. Look, he's going to Crispin into the Joltik so we can get an attack going. Maybe opt into keeping the energy for the Pikachu, maybe grabbing Metal. Yeah, that's what I would grab as well. Grab kind of your one of niche energies so that way it's easier to find later down the road. Gardevoir is a heavy Iono deck though, so we'll see if that pans out or if he can keep those energies going in hand. Joltik kind of does survive off of a very low energy count, or sorry, a very low hand count, as you could say, for sure. So it doesn't really affect too much moving forward. He's going to try and abuse stuff like the Mew. Looks like he's forgot to shuffle here, so let's make sure that happens. I know Jack has been playing Gardevoir for, gosh, a couple months now for sure. Ironically, I know the other Jack was also playing Gardevoir for a little while, so it looks like he switched up to the Iron Hands here. See if the Mew draw affects anything. Looks like he got a Pheasantipity. Probably don't want to play that down yet. Yeah, retreating into the Joltik seems like the right play here. Getting stuff attached, ready for the attack on the hands next turn. If you guys don't know, Joltik searches for 2 Lightning Energy and 2 Grass Energy, unless you attach them to your bench Pokemon. Very, very, very solid effect. Definitely a very cool concept for the deck. A lot of people have been opting for the Electrics. The Eeltrix, as they say, is the card that's coming back into the game. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw like a 1/1 maybe floating around in the list, but it looks like I didn't see anything in there. But his turn ends with that attack there. Iron Hands is ready to go. The Pikachu's got a Metal Energy, so he can Crispin right to it. It looks like Jack's hand. He's got the Curlia for turn. Is he going to research away the Gardevoir? I don't think he has much of a choice. Maybe Artisan first, grab another Monkey Dory. If he can hit a Rare Candy into the Gardevoir, he'll be kind of having some better options here. You can start moving that Scream Tail if he finds enough Psychic Energies. Maybe start attacking into stuff like that Mew EX, start getting some damage worked up. See what Jack opts into. Looks like he grabbed the other Monkey Dory. I like that he's got the Halloween pack foils. They look real crispy. I like that. Putting the coins on the cards to represent what's been used this turn. For the people that don't know, like the Mew coin on top of the Artisan is showing that he used Artisan this turn, so that way that the board knows the opponent understands what's going on. It looks like he's going to opt into that Professor's Research. I don't think he has too many other options in the hand. Opting to choose the Clefairy, I don't know how I feel about that. I'd probably leave that in the discard pile so he didn't have a bossable option with the Miraidon. But he always can attach the Bravery Charm. Looks like he's opting out of it. There you go. Research away. Draw the 7. Get a card. Maybe a Rare Candy Gardevoir. We'll see how it turns out. No, but he did get a TM Evo. I do think that's a pretty good second option here. He's going to start getting some Psychic Energies in the discard pile. The deck's really good, but you got to have Psychics for the deck to work. So as long as there's energies in the discard pile, it runs off of Gardevoir EX. Definitely one of the more powerful cards ever printed. Since it got printed a couple years back, it's been dominating the game for quite some time, you could say, at this point. See here, he's gonna do a little bit more searching. I did see the energy search in there. The energy switch, I apologize. We can do a couple fun Monkey Dory plays as well with multiple Adrena Brains with just one dark energy. You get a lot of good value out of that. He's gonna grab dark energy in the psychic. He's gonna opt the psychic into the active with the TM Evo would be my bet. Looks like that's the play. Get the Curlia down, get the Gardevoir EX into play, so you don't have to find it next turn. His hand looks kind of unfortunate, but that's Gardevoir's strong suit. Is just start confusing you with Monkey Dory and hoping for the best. So Jack's board is online. This is pretty much exactly what he wants to see. I bet he'd want some more dark energies attached to some Monkey Dories, but I think this is pretty ideal for how good it goes with Gardevoir, especially when your opponent has 3 cards in hand, as Joltik Box usually does. We'll see what they can do here. They're going to be looking for that fast Iron Hands EX here, but once you attack with the Iron Hands, I mean, what are you really doing here? That's why I think he should have opted into a second Iron Hands, but we'll see what he does with this. Arvin, maybe grab Earthen Vessel. The Bravery Charm makes sense. Ooh, Prime Catcher and Nicolia, I can see that making sense as well. With only having one no dark energy on board, it's going to be hard for Jack to deal with this Iron Hand with the Bravery Charm. 280 is already an awkward number for the deck, especially if you don't play the Drifloon. I'm not sure if I saw it in the deck list or not, but he also doesn't have any Bravery Charms or enough Psychic Energies to make that work either way. So we'll see if that's even an option for this game here. Attach the Bravery Charm. He's going to get that maybe the Galvantula in play so we can draw some cards off the Mew EX here, because his hand seems to be a little dead past that. We'll see what he does here. Yep, he's going to play the Galvantula, Evolve, just so we can draw some cards off the Mew. Decision he makes here. Got a couple things flowing through. Do you attach? Let's see. Plays the Prime Catcher. I'm assuming. Oh, it brings up a Monkey Dory. Interesting concept. I feel like that kind of contradicts his attaching to the Pikachu game plan here, but that's okay. Maybe attach the Power Tablet as well. Bench the Pheasantipity. Get down to a 1-card hand. Attach the Crystal, and then he draws 3 off of the Mew. Let's see what he gets here. Anything playable? A Metal Energy and Ultra Ball. I think he's just going to have to retreat into that Iron Hands and draw those 2 prizes and see if Jack has an answer to it. If not, I mean, he's going to be in an okay spot. The Pheasantipity being down now is definitely an important touch here, unless he can get the snipe off the Green Tail. But even then, the Iron Hand stays active. He's going to draw another 2 prize cards. It just doesn't make sense. So I think his best move is going to end up being the Monkey Dory and have to confuse this thing now that he used the Prime Catcher. I probably would have saved that personally. Just so that next turn you can guarantee an attack. So you know he's about to get switched out. He doesn't have enough bench space for Latios. I don't know if his deck plays switch or not. He doesn't have a Prime Catcher anymore. So I do believe that Monkey Dory is going to buy Jack a lot of time here. Especially if he doesn't have enough Psychic Energies. He's going to have to bench the Fez. His hand's completely... looks like unplayable to me. Got a couple dark energies, a psychic, maybe a stretcher. He draws 3, another dark, an Iona. There we go. I probably am not in love with the Iona. I think the idea here is just going to be the. We'll see what he does. Yeah, attaches the Monkey Dory, gets the psychics on there, put the 40 damage so you can move some stuff with the Adrena Brain here. Attach the dark. Just like I was thinking here, maybe put the damage on. Let's see, you got a couple options. You can put it on the Pikachu, so that way it's safe to knock out. You can put it on the Iron Hand and start adding up the damage, 60 plus 90, so it'd be at 190 left. That's a pretty good number, pretty ideal for Gardevoir EX to come in there and clean it up. Nothing, a lot of things can handle the Gardevoir EX except for the Pikachu, but when your hand's a little bit unplayable, it doesn't really help too much. Let's see where he puts that 30 damage at. Looks like he opts for the active. That makes sense. 30 and 60 is 90. With the 280, brings it down to 190, which is a great number for the Gardevoir EX. All right, looks Looks like he's going to swing in there. The Monkey Dory's going to hit him with the confusion. There it is. Let's see what Jack can do here. I'm not too sure how many options he's going to have here unless he plays the switch. Ultra Ball, Energy, Iron Leaves, Ultra Ball. Hand a little bit unfortunate here. Maybe he just goes for the flip. I feel like it might be his best play, unfortunately, because then it kind of leaves the door open for him to get the Pikachu play for the draw the last 2 prizes, or even boss up the Fezandipity. Now that that's in play, that way he doesn't need the Vitality Band. But here comes the Ultra Ball. He's going to try and waste some cards here. I'm sure he'll fail to find. Yep, he doesn't even look at his deck. Doesn't want to waste the time. Makes sense. It is best of 1 today, so I guess you do have some more time. But either way, against Gardevoir, you always want to make sure you have enough time to close out the game. If either way. See what he does here. He's going to cut the deck. Let's see if he attaches first. He already attached the Mew, actually, or the Pikachu, so he draws an energy. Ooh, Iono for turn. Makes sense. Draw 4 new cards. Jack's not going to get hurt by it at all. Probably helps him, if anything. We'll see how this pans out. If anything, I think he's going to be flipping for the Confusion flip. And see how that pans out. It'd be like a NAIC recap with Andrew Hedrick versus Stefan Ivanov. It's for a little bit less money here, but still exciting. All right, here it is. The flip for the 2 prizes, and he gets the heads. That's going to be a knockout, 2 prizes. The Pokemon should still stay confused, I thought, but maybe I'm wrong. Looks like they're double checking with a judge real quick. But maybe they've changed it, but from what I remember, you are still confused. Yeah, perfect. That's what I thought. All right, let's see. So it looks like he gets the heads. He's down to 2 prizes. He's got to deal with this Iron Hands this turn, or he just loses next turn to another coin flip, which isn't very fun if he lost to the first one. He can still lose to the boss Pikachu next turn. So Jack here set him up here with a good option. Let's see what happens. He's got a Monkey Dory. I'd probably start with the Artisan, just kind of thin some stuff out. He does. Let's see what's in the deck here. Earthen Vessel with a couple Psychic Energies. An Earthen Vessel. I don't think too much change off the Fezandipity. Probably grab a Psychic and a Dark. Oh, double Psychic. Does he maybe play Drifloon and I'm missing it? Nope, another Monkey Dory. It's scary to attack with the Gardevoir here, just because it's going to be easy to return KO with the Pikachu if he's got the Vitality Band. I feel like if you're Jack, you've got to assume he's going to play it, and it's just an Arven away, which is pretty scary with a Fezandipity and a Mew on the board. His hands have been pretty dead before, but he did get an Iono off the last turn, so maybe his hand's got a little refreshment compared to how his hand was before. Here comes the Ultra Ball, just getting as many Psychics in the deck. Makes sense, thinning them all out.
Honestly, that's fun.
Okay, so it just kicked me out. I see. Second clear. I just typed in Gardevoir. Couldn't get anything to type in, so I was typing in. Oh, now it's working, of course. Yeah, 'cause I was trying to show cards earlier, but I couldn't get them in. So thank you. My stream seemed to have cut out there, but thank gosh for Allie there. She figured it out. Looks like he's going the Scream Tail route. Maybe he'll put the damage on the. Maybe the 60 right now. That's more damage here for the Monkey Dory to work itself out. Let's see. He's gonna put 2 energy on the Gardevoir. Makes the most sense. You gotta have the energy somewhere. That puts 40 damage. He gives him 40 damage to move off the monkeys. Let's see where he puts it. 40 and 160 is 200. So it's a little short on the Pheasantipity, but maybe he's going to put it there and try to Adrena Brain to it next turn. He could put it on the Pikachu. That would one-shot the Pikachu. I think that's a pretty decent option for the situation here. It's probably the way I would go, or you can kill the Mew. Either way, I think he's helping the win condition here. The only problem is he's just a coin away from losing. That's why I think keeping the Prime Catcher for Jack originally probably would have been better, but I understand his choice either way. Let's see. He's going to move the damage here. Here comes the Adrena Brain. He's going to put it on the Mew, so we can knock out that for 160. That makes sense. Get rid of some draw power. Keep that off the board as much as possible. Put 20 on the Pikachu, so you can knock that out for next turn. He's going to make the knockout on the Mew, try and cut out some of the draw power. He'll still be able to Pheasantipity. If he has Latios, Boss, he kind of needs a lot of things, but he has Boss in hand already, so he just needs Latios. Let's see, he's got the Nest Ball. See if it's in the deck. Did he look for it? There it is. Now, does he have the Grass Energy and the Vitality Band? The way he's playing makes me think he does, but Arvin here does not exactly clear that because he still needs to play Boss's Orders this turn. Oh, he does play the Switch. There's that. That's going to be game right there. So it does not matter. He's going to be able to switch into the Mew, the Mew was knocked out. Switch into the Latias. He could have done it without the Latias. He could have just switched to Pikachu. Either way, it looks like Jolting Fox is going to get the win. It flipped the heads when it needed to. That's kind of the story how that one goes. If they hit the heads, he didn't hit the Bravery Charm on the Monkey Dory like he could have hopefully needed. I'm sure he missed it. He had 2 Dark Energies and a Psychic and a Night Stretcher. So what can you do? It was a good effort, and I'm sure Jack will bounce back here. Gardevoir's really strong play today. Jolting Fox, fantastic play. The deck's really, really well positioned to the World Championship next weekend. Just a lot of things. Got a lot of options. So it looks like Iron Hands EX was the card to be in this game here. And Joltik Box wins our round 1. Let's see if there is another stream game. I'm not too sure if it's over or not. I'm gonna see if they'll cut to it. Well, it looks like I just pulled up the stream so I could see it myself. It looks like we don't have the other game up. I guess I'm going to go find out what's going on with next round, and we'll be back short enough. Thanks so much, guys.
don't see it there. Maybe it can only see. Yeah, you can only see it.
Dragapult versus Goldango down there right now. We'll jump right in that game as soon as I see it here. Looks like there it is. All right, I've got that back, so let's make it happen here. All right, actually, I lied to you guys. Looks like we got Typhlosion versus Goldango. That's even worse for Asher here. That is a tough matchup here. The Drag Cloaks make it even worse because that means it's an entirely one-prize version of this deck. Definitely a scary matchup here for Asher. Let's see. I'll throw some Typhlosion up on the screen here. If I can spell it right. But it looks like this matchup might be a interesting one here. A lot of the times this matchup goes downhill pretty quick just because the Typhlosion deck does not need a lot of the Ethan's Adventurer cards in the discard pile to do enough damage. So it just kind of depends on how the game sets up. Maybe the Typhlosion deck might not have an incredible hand. That's probably the best way to go about this matchup, unfortunately. It's not a very good one. So we'll see what happens here. Let's see what Asher can kind of cook up here. I know he's a very advanced player. He's been playing for a very long time. So we'll see what he can figure out here. It looks like he did surprise check and got rid of the Monkey Dory. Going to grab some regular energies here, kind of get the ball moving. Not a lot you can really do in the early game here, except for just get kind of going. I don't think you want to bench Genesect ever. Another free 2 prizes you don't want on your bench. It looks like Madison top decks that Ethan's Adventure there in general, which is a fantastic draw. They already had Arvin, but I think the Ethans might be a little bit of a better play personally, but we'll see what they end up choosing here. Evolving to Drag Cloak does not hurt you either way, since it has the same amount of retreat cost as the Drag Cloak does, so if they wanted to, they could have saw the top 2 cards first. I think it's better to thin, though, so I think they're making the right choice here. Looks like they're going to grab probably a Buddy Poffin if I had to take a wild guess. Try and set up their board here. I think getting a Ethan's might be a little bit of a better choice. Getting the Quilava out might be something that you want to get going as fast as possible. Just that way you can start shading some attackers here, because if not, Asher can start bossing some up. But it looks like next turn they're going to probably get double Quilava down and go from that. Or they can even go for the TM Evo if they have the energy in my... if they have the TM Evo in their hand, or the energy as well to go along with it. That way they can go along. But it looks like they're grabbing the rescue board. They might have prized TM Evo here. We'll see. I think rescue board is also an interesting choice instead of air balloon. I think the air balloon in that deck is way good. Gives the Typhlosion free retreat, avoids random situations like the Monkey Dory flips that no one wants to deal with. Definitely one of those, except maybe they don't have it yet. But definitely a good addition to that deck, in my opinion. It looks like they got the 2 energy down, or the 2 Cyndaquil down from the Buddy Poffin, kind of getting set up here. I don't think evolving to Drag Cloak hurts you in any way, so I would probably recommend doing that next. Using Recon Directive, that card is quite good, so we'll see what that can do here. It looks like they evolved. They're going to use the Recon Directive, looking at the top 2. If you don't know what Recon Directive does, you must have been living under a rock, because that card is in every standard deck ever. It looks at the top 2 cards. You select one, you put the other card on bottom. I do think it's one of the better draw engines in the game. Definitely an interesting choice with the Typhlosion. It keeps your entire deck 1 prize, which is kind of the concept, the gimmick, maybe you could say, of the deck being so strong. It looks like they're going to end their turn there. They already play a supporter for turn. They've already attached. They've done just about everything they can. Looks like Asher's going to get the Pokegear going, the old school Heart Gold, Soul Silver Pokegear. You love to see that. Cool era of the artwork on the cards. Definitely one of those nicer artworks. I wish I had some myself there. Had a lot of options there. I see a couple Arvins. I think a Cypher Maniac is also in those top 7 off that Pokegear. It'll be interesting to see how Asher goes about it. I don't think he has much of a choice but to start just kind of swinging into stuff. He will get a free 2 prizes before they can set up, since they didn't get the Quilava down turn 2. Unless they draw into the rare candy, but based on their hand, I don't think they're seeing a rare candy. I don't think it's bad to sacrifice the Dracloak like they've chosen to do. They did have the rescue board. They could have gotten away from that if they wanted to, but I think just having a bunch of Ethan's Typhlosions on your board is probably the ideal situation for this matchup. It's just going to kind of overrun you. We'll see what Asher can kind of think of here. Really in the think tank for this one. He's got the air balloon sighted, maybe a Buddy Poffin. Nest Ball looks like. See what that Nest Ball is going to go searching for. Grabs himself a Genesect. Genesect's one of those new cards that just came out. It is quite good. It is very good in the new Goldango version. It helps you set up your deck a lot faster and search for those EX cards that make your deck flow so well. Definitely makes it an option so that every card in your deck's kind of live really early on. It looks like Asher is playing the 1 prize Goldango, which is a fantastic way to move into this board here. The way that one works is when you evolve it, it attacks for more damage. So he's going to evolve this turn, hit for the 100 damage. That way he's not an EX Pokemon to give his opponent less prize cards. He did have to bench the Genesect to do so, though. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, in my opinion, getting that one to go that way. But I do think it's a great option. It looks like opponent has to read the card. Definitely one of the better cards right now in Goldango, in my opinion. It's really good for mirror match. It opens up a lot of different doors, a lot of different options. But it just kind of depends on what your matchups are. This is one of those ones where I don't know if it'll matter too much, just because the matchup is kind of horrendous. As someone that's been playing a lot of Typhlosion myself, I definitely think that that's one of those things that you're looking for the Goldango matchup. The deck's really good right now. The Genesect opened a lot of doors for the deck, and I think it's very playable, especially going into Pittsburgh and World Championship. It'll be very popular. I don't know if the Megas change anything from the Mega set coming out, but I haven't looked into that. We'll focus on today instead. Looks like they're grabbing a bunch of Quilavas. We'll see if maybe they have a bunch of Ethan Adventurers prize, but I don't believe that's the case here. Looks like they even have some full art Typhlosions as well, showing off the bling early on into the format. We'd love to see it. That means they've been a committed Typhlosion player for a minute now. We always love to see that, especially on these tier 2 decks. Maybe tier 1, depends on who you ask. We've got the Quilava train coming in, all 3 of them. They're going to go in there and search the deck for a couple of Ethan's Adventurers with the ability. It's quite good ability. The way it works is it searches your deck for an Ethan's Adventurer. You can use it per Quilava, so you'll see them grabbing multiple Ethan's Adventurers here. As they do have 3 Quilavas, they grab up to 3 Ethan's Adventurers if they do have them in the deck. They will grab 2. And the way the Typhlosion card works is it does 40 damage plus 60 damage for each Ethan's Adventurer in your discard pile, whether it's been played, whether it's been Ultra Balled, whether it's been discarded by Professor's Research. There's a lot of ways to get it in the discard pile and get your Typhlosion attacking for 280 damage. And what made that very good was the addition of Silver Bangle. It makes your attacks do 310 damage to a lot of these pesky EX Pokemon, mainly Gardevoir, stuff like Grimmsnarl, stuff like the Dragapult and the Charizards of the format. The only thing you do have to add is a Gravity Mountain, which I did see in the deck, so you always know that they've got the Gravity Mountain cooking in there as well, cooking up a big old one-shot ready to go. I'm not too sure what they're considering here. They got the Fez in the discard pile. I don't think the setup could be any better than what they're asking for, except for getting a 4th Quilava. I'm going to take a wild guess that it's going to be prized. I don't hate that either. Goldango's not known for playing a bunch of Ionos, though, so I get it. It just kind of depends. I think they're just going to sit here and hope for the best. I don't think Asher has a ton of options here. He might have like a Turo to attack again with the same Goldango, but the attack does take 3 energies to do the attack again, so he can't one-shot or KO anything, unfortunately. It looks like he's going to grab the Genesect, search for a couple more of those real cool-looking Goldangos. I do like that if you put the cards together, it makes an even cooler artwork. You can always appreciate that. Let's see what Asher can think of this turn. He's kind of going to be in a situation here. Typhlosion's setting up the exact way it wants to. It's got triple Quilava. It's got an energy on the bench. It's got Ethan's in hands. It's pretty much all it needs. They can even play counter catcher at this point, which is really bad for Asher, in my opinion, because that Genesect is looking juicy for that Typhlosion there. Ethan has trained it well, so We'll see if the rigid band comes into play, but with how much damage it's doing, I really doubt it'll matter too much. Looks like he evolves, uses the coin bonus effect. Coin bonus lets you draw a card, but if it is in the active spot, you draw two. So it is on the bench, so I only got to draw one card. A little bit of a downside, but he can't hurt drawing cards. Everyone loves drawing cards. So he's going to get the other Goldango involved. You decide which artwork's cooler. Both alt arts, both pretty sweet. Let's see. He's got a couple energies to work with. Got a full board of EXs. Typhlosion's probably feeling fantastic. Their hand is not fantastic, but it's Ethan's Typhlosion. All you need is Ethan's this situation, especially. So I think they'll be doing just fine. Asher is going to attach. Maybe a hit for, I think it does like 30. We'll see what the dice does. 30 it is. So not too much work in there. I do think this is going to put them in a weird situation. Let's see what they do here, because in my opinion, you have another free turn to set up here. So I wouldn't really swing at the Typhlosion if you can avoid it this turn. Asher's not putting enough pressure on for it to really matter. So I think that what matters is making sure that your board next turn is killing an EX Pokemon and not this single prize Goldango, which you do not want to knock out. You've already got 6 prizes on the board. The single prize Goldango can definitely do some stuff here, but I don't think it does enough damage to knock out a Typhlosion. I'm going to double check here. It sure doesn't. It does 100 damage and shuffles back into the deck. So that's, in this situation, almost useless. So, and shuffling back to the deck's terrible too, because then you're just going to have to send up a 2-prizer or a Gimme Ghoul. Yeah, the matchup's kind of chalked. So we'll see what happens here. I think Asher is doing everything he can here to kind of keep himself into just doing anything he can at this point. It looks like that Force Nickel is in the deck. That's probably the right grab, in my opinion, as you do have Ethan's in hand. You do have the Quilava, so if they do have the Iono, your hand is still safe for the attack next turn. I mean, their hand is pretty much exactly where they want it to be. They pretty much won't be able to whiff an attack guaranteed at this point. They have 2 in the discard pile. The Typhlosion's hitting for 120, 160 times 2 on most of these situations. 320 is enough to knock out anything, even with the rigid band. Unfortunately, not making too much of a difference in this scenario. Looks like we got the bench. She's going to evolve. I don't think it makes a difference when you're going to evolve. I think it makes sense to keep the free retreater, but it already has an energy attached to it, so kind of a niche point. Either way, the thing's going to be attacking or free retreating. You'd rather have the escape board on the Dreepy, but you retreated into the Dreepy, so you didn't lose to Quilava, which makes sense too. I do like that they're not attacking. I think that's the right thing to do. Just kind of waiting. The Goldango's not doing anything. It's not pressuring anything. Asher would have to have a boss and energy for this turn to matter, which is another resource. He would then send up a 1-prizer. Your opponent can play boss and or counter catcher once again. We'll see how Asher plays this one out. Looks like he's going to draw some cards off the coin bonus. Got another Pokey here. Maybe that grabs the boss if that's what they're looking for. If he was going to Genesect, he probably should have Genesected first before he drew cards, but I think there's no targets anyway, so he's probably just deck searching to make sure nothing's in there. Making sure that he gets the best odds, but if there was a metal Pokemon, it'd be more correct to grab the metal Pokemon first before you draw any cards, especially with Goldango. I do believe that sequencing is just about the entire deck, so can't mess that up. He can attach third energy and shuffle, which seems like a terrible option. He can attack for 30, which doesn't up anything either. Let's see what Asher chooses to do here. Looks like they attach the third energy. Needs to get a 1-prize drop. So just like I thought. Also, the Quilava, especially with the rescue board, get rid of that free attachment and the rescue board. So that's why you don't attach both of the things to the same Pokemon, so you don't lose 2 resources just like that. The Typhlosion goes active. This is where things start to go bad, I believe. But their hand is actually incredibly mid here. Looks like they got Super Rod, a way to switch maybe. The boss's orders is definitely what they're looking for here. Oh, counter catcher, there it is. See, they had the Arbin, they have the counter catcher. They are cooking. They know the game plan here. Take the 2 prizes, kill the Goldango EXs. The Baby Goldango is doing absolutely nothing unless Asher plays like 17 bosses orders, which we all know can't happen. So that'll be all right. I do think the Typhlosion is going to cruise this one out here, unfortunately, and make this happen. The Goldango, the Baby Goldango just doesn't do enough damage in this situation. They would have to play a lot more than just that. The Arven goes to the discard. Here comes the counter catcher on the Goldango. Let's see which artwork they pick. The old angry one. I appreciate that. Let's see. They've got the 1. They've got the 2. That does 6, 12, 160, 320. Plenty of damage here. Things are kind of cooked. I'd probably just attach the Bengal to get it out of your deck, because I think that thinning is important, making sure you're not drawing into that Bengal later, because your deck is full of very non-Iona proof situations, so you definitely don't want to have that going for you in the deck. So I definitely would think that it was right to attach a Silver Bengal, but I don't think it'll end up hurting them too bad. They got the Ethans out of the prize cards even better. Couldn't ask for more consistency. Next turn they'll get another Quilava cooking. I mean, they can just Ethans their way to the whole game here. I mean, even with the 1 prize send up, it's going to do 100 damage. It doesn't really affect anything unless Asher's got another boss's orders. That'll be the last boss's orders of the game. As long as the opponent here gets down Quilava, Cyndaquil. They already played the Super Rod. They have another Super Rod in hand. I would definitely save the other Super Rod depending on the deck list. They might have Sacred Ash has been really popular. Night Stretcher, which I saw them play already. So I would assume it's probably double Super Rod and the Night Stretcher, but you never know. Looks like Asher has played a Pokegear. He's going to get the Arven most likely. Not a ton of great options here. It's just not a lot of options in general, unfortunately. I do like that they both have Heart Gold, Soul Silver mats. I think that's a nice touch. Great generation. Fantastic games, to say the least. It's just unfortunately not a lot to do here, so we'll see what Asher, if he could think anything off top of his head. Looking a little lost at the moment, which I can understand. Definitely not a fun situation to be in. I actually played Goldango at NAIC this year and played against a Typhlosion round 4, so my deck had Dragapult in it, though, so I was able to somehow squeak out a tie. Asher does not have that luxury, unfortunately, so I don't imagine this going too well. But grabs the Cypher. Lets you grab any 2 cards. Excuse me, sorry. Lets you grab any 2 cards. Kind of a good effect in this deck in general, but when your entire deck is just going to get knocked out by a Typhlosion next turn, it does not really matter. So kind of a tough situation here either way. Got the Fezandipity, got the Night Stretcher. He's going to draw into the Fez. Fez is going to draw into the Night Stretcher. Fezandipity, one of the best cards to ever be printed, in my opinion. Flip the script, very, very good card for the game. When a Pokemon's knocked out, it lets you draw 3 cards, whether that's knocked out from attack, knocked out from Dusknoir, knocked out from, as long as it's not the Frostlass damage between turns, you're pretty much drawing 3 cards. So that card's very, very good. It goes in just about every single deck. Even the Ethan's deck with 1 Prizers plays that card as well. It's just got too much value not to play. Especially with stuff like Night Stretcher, but that's already been played, so they don't want it on their board this way anyway, so it's kind of a moot point, but just not much you can do here. Asher can attack for 100, shuffle into the deck, go into the Gimme Ghoul. I don't think that's the option here. Send up the Gimme Ghoul. We'll see if another boss's order is played. Oh, send up the Fezandipity, forcing the 3rd Ethans to be played, but I don't know if that makes a difference at all. Giving him the 2 prizes, I think, is just bad either way. So 6, 12, 18 plus 4 is 220. That definitely clears the Fezandipity and kind of fixes that, fortunately. So, yeah, tough situation. So there's 1, 2. The Quilava, the Cyndaquil, he's probably going to grab a Typhlosion, maybe a Fire Energy, make sure that she does not run out of options here. Fire in hand. The only other thing they should be doing is thinning their deck more. They've got a bunch of really dead cards in their hand. The Ultra Balls, they could go Ultra Ball for Dracloak right here, which makes the most sense. That way they can't dead draw. stuff like that. Just trying to stay ahead. I know that the matchup's already kind of cooked, but you gotta stay ahead while you can get ahead. So I think that yeah, committing to all this stuff is just fine. Making sure you have an Ethan's Quilava in play is good. I would definitely Ultra Ball away that Evo, maybe the Bengal, or attach the Bengal, discard something else. But it looks like there's not much else to discard. So yeah, get rid of those cards ASAP. Maybe even grab another Quilava. Can't hurt you. Drac looks even better. I'm happy they finally chose to do that. Look at the top 2 cards. As before, just as good. Just coming back from the top ropes here. Two, there's the boss's orders. You definitely want that in hand for next turn, in my opinion. Make sure that you just have game in hand. Seems pretty good to me. Sure, that's what they grabbed if I had to take a guess. Here comes the KO, 2 prize cards, no Pheasantipity, not a ton of options here. Their best play is to evolve into this other Goldengo. I'm going to have the air balloon to draw 2 off the coin bonus here. Buddy Poffin. Yeah, here comes Gimme Ghoul. Grab Genesect. Genesect grab for the baby Goldango. I'm sure they're gonna punch the air balloon here. Draw 2 first. Just trying to scrap at anything you can think of here. Not a ton of options. Yeah, retreat into the Gimme Ghoul, evolve into the Goldango, attach, knockout. Here comes the boss from Madison. Game's gonna end just right here. So here comes the draw for turn, flash the boss for game. Things end right there. So there it is. It's gonna be game on that one. Asher picks up his cards. The matchup's really, really tough in general. You can do too many things there. Asher did everything they could with the baby Goldango, trying to force a 1 prize game with the deck, but the problem is, 1, you're weak, 2, you have no options against one-shotting in their entire deck, one-shots their entire deck, so you can't really stall with anything, can't push anything up. Even if you start doing 1 prize against 1 prize, the thing won't be able to keep up. It's just a downhill situation from there. But Asher did what he could. We're proud. Madison fantastically played. Kept Ethan's in deck, ready to go at all times. It's kind of how you look at that matchup. Make sure that your Quilavas are always active, so that way, no matter what, even if you take an Iono, you cannot possibly miss the attack. That's why the deck kind of so good. Is that it's so simplistic in that way. It keeps the ball rolling once it's rolling. The problem is it needs those few turns to start rolling. So as long as they can get there, usually it does pretty well against most decks in the format, especially Goldango. Really popular with the Genesis coming out. I'm sure it'll be a huge play for the Pokemon League Championship next weekend. Genesis just such a good ability, making Arden time and make your Arden TM Evos. Stuff like that's very important to use. Very, very, very good. Keep the consistency moving. I just think that the deck's really good. I think Ethan Typhlosion's also a really, really, really cool niche deck right now. It's got a lot of great matchups. Everyone's trying to counter Grimmsnarl as well, as that deck is incredibly strong. So once you start getting away from that and moving into more of the tier 1 format for Worlds, the Dragapults, the Gardevoirs, Typhlosion kind of starts to fall off. But with Gravity Mountain and Silver Bank, it at least keeps itself alive. So I could definitely see one dinking a couple good matchups and moving its way into a decent Worlds finish. But I didn't even notice Madison had the Cyndaquil tattoo as well. So they've been kind of rocking that one. And I'm sure they've been waiting for this day for their entire life, it looks like. So fantastic. Thank you guys so much for the round 2. I don't think the round 2 game on the other stream, but I guess we'll see you guys here soon. I do appreciate you guys tuning in to Diamond Valley Collectible up here in Windsor, Colorado. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back in just a minute.